How to understand the materials benchmark framework and minimum reporting requirements. Welcome to Textile Exchange Data Reporting Portal. In this video, we will cover the updated materials benchmark framework and minimum reporting requirements. Let's begin. We launched our revised materials benchmark survey in April, which is streamlined and industry aligned with enhanced guidance. Let's start by going through a few important updates. Firstly, we've updated our name to be Materials Benchmark, previously the Corporate Fiber and Materials Benchmark Program, or the CFMB. Secondly, the benchmark cycle has shifted earlier in the year to ensure that the full cycle can be completed within the year, closing the gap between data collected and result generated. We know through stakeholder feedback that this would be highly appreciated. Thirdly, the 2023 to 2025 benchmark framework has evolved from earlier versions. We have streamlined the questions with clearly defined objectives. We have also developed guidance on how to answer and what supporting evidence you may need to provide. Now, allow me to take you through the updates to the Materials Benchmark Framework. The Section 1, Business Integration and Circular Economy. The Business Integration section asks about the company's raw materials sustainability strategy and how it is integrated into the core of the business. This data helps us understand if participants have started to integrate raw material sustainability into their overall corporate strategy. The circular economy. This has moved from its own module and now forms a part of Section 1. This section encourages companies to rethink the linear business model. To create meaningful change, we need to reduce production of virgin materials. These questions focus on the company's transition towards a circular economy and how they are implementing strategies to decouple economic growth from the consumption of finite resources, designing a system without waste. Section 2, Materials Portfolio, is the mandatory section. This section is the core of the materials benchmark. Here, we ask participants to provide their uptake data for all raw materials sourced. To complete this section, you need to prepare your company's uptake data of your materials portfolio for the reporting period. This data is key for tracking and recording the volume, use, and impact of raw materials at both an organizational and aggregated level. By asking for targets, we assess the ambition to scale the adoption of preferred raw materials. Although this is a mandatory section, for new companies starting their benchmarking journey, you can begin with one or two of your priority raw materials, and in the years to come, you can increase the number of fibers that you report as per your experience, level of comfort, company's resources, and time allocated to the survey. The Section 3, Impact Areas. In line with our Climate Plus goals, we have developed questions for climate and nature impact areas. This aims to capture your progress, targets, monitoring, and reporting for climate and nature-related activities, for example, climate, biodiversity, fresh water, ocean, land use, and soil health. This incorporation of Climate Plus impact areas is an improvement on the previous focus of solely increasing the adoption of preferred materials. This section is intended to accelerate and measure the industry's prioritization of climate and nature in raw materials sourcing and management, which will bring long-term business benefits, more resilient livelihoods, improved health and well-being for communities, and safer interfaces between wild and managed land species. As mentioned, the only mandatory section is Section 2, Materials Portfolio. All other sections are optional. However, to feature in the Material Change Index, or the MCI, the public listing of participating brands and retailers, all three sections must be completed. Please note, the MCI is a voluntary public listing for brands and retailers. Participants have the option to opt out in the Terms and Conditions section of the survey if they wish to. The Materials Benchmark is also the reporting place for Textile Exchange materials challenges, such as the Sustainable Cotton Challenge and the Recycle Polyester Challenge. The minimum reporting requirement for all challenge signatories is to complete Section 2, Materials Portfolio, for the respective materials they have signed up for. For example, reporting on cotton for the Sustainable Cotton Challenge or polyester for the Recycle Polyester Challenge. This means reporting the uptake volumes for conventional and preferred materials of the respective material. However, challenge signatories do have the option to complete more sections of the Materials Benchmark survey. that is Section 1, Business Integration and Circularity, and Section 3, Impact Areas. Completing the full survey will give a holistic understanding of the company's efforts via a comprehensive confidential scorecard offered to each participating company, as well as allow the company to qualify for the Material Change Index or the MCI as mentioned before. We want to conclude by reinforcing that this framework will remain the same from 2023 to 2025, and we encourage participants to commit to reporting for the full 3 years to benefit from progress tracking and trend analysis through your confidential scorecards. This brings us to the end of this video. We hope it helped you understand the key updates of the Materials Benchmark Framework, what each section is looking for, and the minimum reporting requirement. Thank you.